But believe it unless they had it on film.
I know, and I don't know if I want to see a whale that close.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a story to tell, I guess.
Yeah.
Anywho.
You have the story for us, Tim. I'm here to listen.
Yeah, we've got a story of a cold front arriving through the area. A welcome cold front bringing rain and also a drop in our temperatures. Today we'll scoot back into the upper 90s for one more time before that front comes on through. I want to start you off with what's going on right now. 82, but notice the dew point, 77. That's a key ingredient that this cold front will use to fire off the storms later today. Cold fronts, what they do, the cooler air is more dense, so it digs under the warmer air and forces it to rise. And that causes our storms. And when we've got all that moisture available, that just is more energy, potential energy that's available for this front to use. Here it is to the north right now. Now, even this morning, especially in the northern spots, Polk County in particular, seeing a cluster of some very strong storms, heavy rainfall, lightning and thunder, so waking you up early before the sun comes up there. These are scooting east. These are not directly associated with the cold front. That front arrives likely early afternoon. So by lunchtime, I'm not foreseeing any unsettled weather, really. Maybe an isolated shower out there, but nothing strong or severe. By 2 p.m., they arrive in our northern counties. By 5 o'clock, let's say between 4 and 6 p.m., pushing towards the I-10 corridor. And by 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 or so, we'll start to see those storms push towards the coast and offshore, leading to some quieter weather overnight. So here it is playing out on our future track models. There's the front to the north at lunchtime. Notice not much going on there. We're cooking things up at this point in time. Temperatures are already in the low to mid 90s. By 2 o'clock, that front is beginning to interact and use that fuel that's available. So we're seeing storms developing along it, and it slowly glides south. The thinking here is that once the storms fire up, it'll help to accelerate the front farther south. So I wouldn't be surprised if this verifies a little earlier or ahead of time than what's being shown here by maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or so. Here we are at 6 o'clock. The front is along the I-10 corridor, pushing south and towards the coast by 9 o'clock, bringing with it very heavy rainfall. We're talking 1 to 2 inch an hour rainfall rates. So that's one of our higher threat categories, leading to some street flooding in those areas that are normally susceptible to that. Damaging winds on top of that, some of the storms that are strong or maybe even severe. Even though that risk is low, it is there, a level 1 out of 5. We could have some damaging wind gusts thrown in the mix there too. Rainfall, that's welcome. We get a brand new drought report today. May show some improvement, but today's rain will be evident on next week's drought report. 1 to 2 inches, locally 3, 4, maybe 5 inches. So that threat's there for some street flooding, marginal risk, a level 1 out of a 4-tiered system for flooding. Highs today, 99 at Houston, 95 at Bay City for one more day, because then look at the 7-day. Tomorrow, a drop by 10 degrees. We're in the upper 80s. Still some isolated downpours out there, particularly in the morning at the coast, lifting northwards. And then we're entering an unsettled pattern here. We've got rain chances at 60% straight through the middle of next week. Christina?